Say hello to a new friend on an old road. Take a two-lane trip of memories into mysteries unknown. Come along for the ride. Jim Hinckley's America. Jim Hinckley's America.
Hey, good morning, everyone. It is a delightful 34 degrees here at the studios of Jim Hinckley's in America in Kingman, Arizona, within spitting distance of legendary Route 66. Getting started here with a little bit of music from Joe and Woody and the boys of the road crew. How is everybody doing this beautiful, beautiful day? Well, 34 degrees may be a bit cold here in Kingman, but that's kind of like, springtime or even early summer up in the North Country. But for somebody who looks for their long underwear when it gets below 80, 34 is just a tad bit chilly. Hey, today we're going to be talking about my stomping grounds, Mohave County, Arizona. First, we'll give a shout out to folks out there in Quay County, New Mexico. I want to thank the folks there at Tucumcari, New Mexico for being a sponsor of this program and Jim Hinckley's America. Tucumcari is famous world over for its time capsule motels and neon lit nights, but there's so much more to this place. And, well, check it out. Visit Tucumcari NM if you'd like to know more about amazing, wonderful, magical Tucumcari, New Mexico. Well, let's talk about Mohave County, Arizona. Mohave County is, it's a political oddity for one thing. It's one of the largest counties in the United States. It's located in western and northwestern Arizona along the Colorado River, just south of Las Vegas, Nevada. It was one of Arizona's original counties. It back in the 1860s, it was carved out. It's gone through some interesting changes over the years. When it was originally set up, the southern tip, if you look at a map, the southern tip of Nevada, Clark County, the Las Vegas, Laughlin, Nevada area, that was originally part of Mohave County. Then it became, then there were some changes, things here to Paiute County, and one thing led to another. Anyway, Mohave County is still kind of an oddity. Almost 1/3 of the county is what they call the Strip Country, and it's north of the Colorado River. And you can't, by land, you cannot get there from, anywhere in the state of Arizona from Mohave County. You have to drive up through Flagstaff and around, or you have to drive up to Las Vegas, Nevada, and cut through the Virgin River country. The Strip Country, because of its being so remote and a lot of rural communities, is kind of languished a bit. But in recent years, they've made a concerted effort to become a tourism destination, and for good reason. They've got scenic wonders up there that will just knock your socks off. Torowheat Point, north rim of the Grand Canyon. Just so many coral pink sand dunes. There's just so many neat things up there to see. But it is remote. A bit closer to home, of course, we have Lake Havasu City, famous for the London Bridge. You might check out the Lake Havasu Tourism website and take a look at the calendar of events. Those folks down there in Havasu, I tell you what, they sell everything on the hog, including the squeal. And they keep a very full and diverse calendar of events going. Everything from quilting bees, jet ski contests, to beer festivals and car shows, you name it. And it gets a tad bit hot down in that river country for me, even though I'm an old desert rat. But Lake Havasu's got a lot going for it. The Blue Chair is a nice little restaurant down at London Bridge Village that we frequent on occasion, especially in the months of winter. And great food, great ambiance, great location. Lake Havasu City. And then we move up the river a tad bit. We have the Bullhead City and Laughlin, Nevada. Of course, Laughlin is known for its casinos, and it is a small miniature version of, Las Vegas, to put it mildly. The difference is it's got the river in the backyard. But they've got also a lot of other attractions, and they're starting to develop their tourism down that direction. April 1st, 2023, Laughlin Bullhead Air Show. This is shaping up to be a major event. Something I tell you what, you might want to add to your list of travel plans. April would be a good time to be down in Bullhead City. There again, that Colorado River Valley gets a tad bit warm come summer, but April should be pretty darn nice down there on the river. And speaking of the river, of course, just on the other side of the river, just a spit and a hop from Arizona, is historic Needles, California. And kind of a fascinating old town. She's wore down at the heel, but she's making a comeback. And the 1907-1908 El Garces, a Harvey House hotel complex and railroad depot, that's going to be the site of the Route 66 Info Fair, February 11th, Saturday. Hope to see you there. I'll be down there. Going to be a car show and food trucks, all kinds of exciting stuff going on. Excuse me. And they'll be giving tours of the El Garce at the same time. And once again, like I say, even though I'm an old desert rat, I'll tell you what, I may be one of the dry roasted nuts, but that river country gets a tad bit hot for me come summer. So February, good time to be in Needles. Last year at the Route 66 Info Fair, the temperature was closing in on 75 degrees. So that's one to add to your list. Now it's stretching a point a bit, but because we get into Yavapai County to the west of us. But Route 66 from basically the Partridge Creek Bridge near Ash Fork, Arizona to Topak, it depends on which alignment you follow, but it's roughly 160 miles of uninterrupted Route 66. Excuse me. It stretches into Yavapai County, just up around Grand Canyon Caverns and east, but that's kind of a hair split. And it's also a hair split for my moniker, which is 160 miles of smiles, Partridge Creek Bridge to Topak. And there again, it depends on the alignment you follow. It's anywhere between 152 and 159 miles of Route 66. But somehow that just lacks the magic of 160 miles of smiles. In that stretch of beautiful old Route 66, not only do you have scenic wonders, great attractions like the Grand Canyon Caverns, with above ground and below ground dining, the world's deepest and darkest motel room. You also have Keepers of the Wild. You have the old town of Hackberry, the Hackberry General Store. You have Antares Point, home of Giganticus et Heticus, an odd Easter Island type creation by artist Greg Arnold. And as you're rolling into Kingman, of course, you have the Kingman Airport and Industrial Complex. This was established during World War II as the Kingman Army Airfield. And there's quite a few remnants left from that airfield, including one of the last surviving World War II era control towers. And I can't remember, but I believe it was the headquarters building is now the charming and wonderful Kingman Airport Cafe. Great place for breakfast, I might add. And there's some other surprises out there at the airport. Import Corner. I don't know if you can find words to describe this place. Andy Arik and his wife Nora, uh, they are from Turkey, and they have created an American version of the Turkish Bazaar. It is a massive complex with all kinds of things, everything from imported rugs and fountains and yard ornaments to wall clocks and furniture, and it's just almost overwhelming. Another little hidden gem there at the airport is Desert Diamond Distillery. Now, this is an award winning distillery known for its agave rums and cask aged whiskey. They have a tasting room that's set up like an old Western saloon. They give tours of the distillery, which I highly recommend. They have renovated a century old dining car. It's kind of a restaurant for special events. And last time I talked to them out there, they were bringing in some cabooses and renovating those for a Airbnb situation. So that's a great little stop. Often overlooked. A lot of fun there. And then, of course, we roll into Kingman. Kingman doesn't, it gets short shift a lot. Boy, we got something here for every season of the year. On Route 66, which is has been named Andy Devine Avenue since an episode of This Is Your Life in 1955, when they honored character actor Andy Devine, and they renamed Front Street. As you come into town at the intersection of Stockton Hill Road, Hualapai Mountain Road, the Dam Bar is right there on that corner. Pretty famous little place. If you're heading west and you stop at the stoplight, take a few minutes, turn left, drive 12 miles up steep, twisted, narrow, beautiful, picturesque Hualapai Mountain Road up to Hualapai Mountain Park. It's a pine forested oasis in the midst of the desert. Absolutely gorgeous. And it's just 12 miles off Route 66. You can go play in the snow in the wintertime and come back to the desert. Summertime, it's about 10-15 degrees cooler than Kingman, about 25 degrees cooler than the river country. You have miles and miles of shade dappled hiking trails, beautiful little stone cabins built during the CCC era, during the Great Depression. And of course, Hualapai Mountain Lodge, some fine dining, nice restaurant. And as a bonus, usually the elk and deer will come right up to the large picturesque picture window at the lodge there, the restaurant. Makes for a great dining experience. In summer, you can't beat the hiking opportunities. The views are just awe-inspiring from up on the summits. Other things to do around Kingman, we have the Surbat Foothills Recreation Area and the White Cliffs Trail System, one of the top urban mountain biking and hiking trail systems in the Southwest. And some of the trails are simple, like just off Highway 93, less than a mile. You'll come to the parking lot at Camp Beale Springs, a historic fort there on the Mohave Prescott Road in the 1870s. It's a literal desert oasis, a little spring and stream there. From the parking lot to the springs itself and the side of the fort is 200 yards, 300 yards. Trail is so easy, it's almost wheelchair accessible. And the trails get they can get a little steep. Got to be in a little bit of shape, but Monolith Gardens, a couple travel writers, Roger Naylor, I believe it was, he mentioned that it was a miniature monument valley. Makes it a great, and of course, White Cliffs, the centerpiece of the White Cliffs of the White Cliffs trail system is the old White Cliffs Wagon Road. It was actually the Stockton Hill Road connecting Kingman with the mines in the Stockton Hill district, the legendary COD mines, and of course the old town of Stockton Hill itself is out that direction. And speaking of Stockton Hill, if you're heading north out of Kingman on Stockton Hill Road, you can loop back around through Dolan Springs and pick up Highway 93 into Las Vegas. Or you can go up to Grand Canyon West on the Hualapai Reservation. It's the west end of the Grand Canyon, and the big claim to fame there is their glass bottom skywalk that extends out over the canyon itself. Makes for a great drive and interesting visit. That's about 70 miles, 75 miles north of Kingman. Along the way, you'll come to Grand Canyon Western Ranch, kind of a dude ranch in a very picturesque setting. The Grand Canyon Western Ranch actually started out as Tap Duncan's Ranch. I actually worked out there for a while. It was the Diamond Bar Ranch. And the Grand Canyon Western Ranch is very historic. Tap Duncan was out of San Sabo, Texas, and he started ranching and doing things up in Idaho. And according to legend, he tangled with some boys who rode with Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid. And he came out on top in that altercation, but he decided for longevity's sake that he might want to head for the Arizona Territory. And he became kind of legendary out in this neck of the woods. Somehow he developed a Hollywood connection. Buster Keaton in 1925 filmed the movie Go West out at Tap Duncan's Diamond Bar Ranch and Lake Valley Ranch. And one more little Route 66 connection I forgot to mention. If you're coming from Seligman towards Kingman, when you're coming down through Truxton Canyon in Peach Springs, this is the capital for the Hualapai Indian Reservation. You'll need reservations for this, and you'll also want to inquire about road conditions at the lodge. But Diamond Creek, it's you don't need four-wheel drive, but I do recommend ground clearance. This is the only road where you can drive to the bottom of the Grand Canyon. You can drive all the way to the Colorado River at the bottom of the Grand Canyon. Needless to say, it is a beautiful drive. During the era of the National Old Trails Road, a predecessor to Route 66, there was a small rustic hotel down along the Colorado River. And that was a pretty big detour for travelers on the National Old Trails Road. Well, meanwhile, back in Kingman, we have a Powerhouse Visitor Center. They have limited hours, but if you catch them when they're open, great stop. They start shutting down about 4 in the afternoon. But got a great Route 66 museum, and it's embryonic and small. But as far as I know, it's the world's only museum dedicated to the electric vehicle. Right across the street's Locomotive Park with a monstrous 1920s Baldwin locomotive. And kitty corner to that, you have 2 little landmarks there on Route 66. Mr. D's Route 66 Diner, originally opened in 1940 as the Kingman Cafe. There's a connection to the Harvey House there. And you can learn about that with the new narrated, self-guided historic district walking tour developed by Kingman Main Street. Now, the walking tour is a physical tour, plaques tied in with QR codes, but it's also a virtual tour. You can take a look at kingman.tours. Phase 1 is almost complete. A few more bugs to iron out, a few things up, but the 4th Street corridor is all complete. It's a great way to learn about Kingman, discover Kingman before you visit. And when you get here, it's a great way to explore Kingman. Right next door to Mr. D's Route 66 Diner, made famous by Oprah Winfrey when she stopped there with Gayle King on her trip and tried out their signature homemade root beer. Right next door is Dutton Motors Dream Machines. It's a classic car museum and restoration facility. It's a one family owned dealership, been open since 1946. And it's also the headquarters for the Route 66 Association of Kingman, Arizona. One of the little treasures hidden there in plain view in the showroom is a beautiful diorama of Mr. D's Route 66 Diner, created by the incomparable, the late Dutch artist Willem Boer. He was a founding member of the Dutch Route 66 Association. His dioramas and models are treasured throughout the world. So it's quite a treat to see one. Other things to do in Kingman, if you skip one block up off Andy Devine Avenue on Beale Street, you have a great eclectic array of restaurants and shops. You also have a couple award-winning microbreweries, a wine bar, Floyd and Company, excellent, superb barbecue. Continuing west on Route 66, of course, you have, in my humble opinion, one of the most scenic sections of Route 66 there is, up through Sitgreaves Pass in the Black Mountains on the pre-1952 alignment of Route 66. This road was actually cut through the mountain about 1920 and 21 when it was still the National Old Trails Road. You'll find the sharpest grades, sharpest curves and steepest grades anywhere on Route 66. You'll also find stunning views. And as you're going down the west side of the pass, if you'll look over the edge, not while you're driving, because this is a narrow road with almost no guardrails, but you can see the old original National Old Trails Road down below. That road had 26% grades. And as my pa always said, better to fill the head with useless knowledge than no knowledge at all. That was the course of the legendary Desert Classic Auto Race in 1914. That would be the race with Louis Chevrolet, Barney Oldfield, and a few other daring drivers. Well, it just kind of gives you a quick preview of Mohave County. Get a chance, stop by, pay a visit, take some time. You can learn more at the Kingman Tourism website, Lake Havasu City Tourism website. And, of course, we're 100 miles south of Las Vegas, Nevada. We're also a stop on Amtrak, if you so desire. It's about 36 hours from Chicago by train. Pretty much a straight run, even though it's like a slumber party for 200 people you never met. Hey, well, I don't want to beat my gums too much this morning and wear out my welcome. Full schedule of my appearances is up on the Jim Hinckley's America website, jimhinckleysamerica.com. We've got, we're constantly updating the website. We've got, since we do free event listings, you'll find all kinds of information about events on and off Route 66 all over the country. And it's a great, the website was designed and it's conceived as a means to be a travel inspiring and a travel planning portal. Take a look. Well, do we have any questions or call-ins or anybody want to discuss things here in Kingman? I have one more tidbit while you're thinking about that. I have learned that the territorial jail, built about 1910, it's long been used for storage. The county has agreed to let the Mohave Historic Society give it a cleanup, and they're going to give the old territorial jail a cleanup, and they're going to open it for tours. This should be really an exciting development. A little bit of a tidbit with the jail. This jail, the cell itself, the concrete was done by a contractor here in Kingman that had built the Hotel Beale, the Hotel Brunswick, and others. But the jail itself, the cells, they are from the Pauley Jail Company. And the Pauley Jail Company is still in business. It opened, back in the 1850s. That's quite a long time. Well, my friends, I guess that's about all I got time for this morning. Any questions or anything I can answer for you? Well, did we inspire a road trip? Did we encourage some? Did we give you some food for thought? Well, if we have no further questions or input, I will bid you adios. Until next week, same time. Let's see. February 6th, I will be in Apache Junction, Arizona at the Event Center. I will be speaking on Route 66 in Arizona. Details have got to be confirmed, but not sure how we'll work the program, but we'll figure that out. But I will be spending the first 5 days or 6 days of March at a conference up in Colorado. And then we've got the Route 66 Info Fair, Needles, California, February 11th. I'll be down there. So hopefully I'll see you on the road. My friends, take care. Until we meet again, vaya con Dios, mi amigos. Adios.
Say hello to a new friend on an old road. Take a 2-lane trip of memories into mysteries unknown. Come along for the ride. Jim Hinckley's America. Jim Hinckley's America.